The first thing you see is a young woman tied to a tree. Her wrists are stretched high above her head, her legs pulled tight by ropes digging into the dry dirt. The sun beats down like a hammer. Standing in front of her is a man old enough to know better yet dangerous enough to ignore every rule a decent person should live by. His name is Jack Callahan, nearly 50. A rancher with a rugged face, sunburned skin, and the kind of eyes that have survived droughts, blizzards, and shootouts. But nothing has prepared him for this moment. Because tied to that tree is Lily Monroe, just 21. She's dusty, scared, and stubborn as a wild Mustang. Her lips are cracked, her shirt torn at the shoulder, yet her eyes are steady. She refuses to look away from the man who might save her or end her life. Behind her, there's nothing but miles of yellow grass and dead trees. A few yards away, the bandit Mac watches with a grin. He wants Jack to prove his loyalty. His order is simple: finish her. Jack steps closer, every step slow and heavy. Lily's breath quickens. She pulls at the ropes, the knots digging deeper into her skin. Her voice trembles, but she still speaks. If you want to, just do it. The words fall heavy in the heat. Everything goes silent. Even the wind stops. Up close, she can hear his breath shaking. He whispers, barely audible, "Trust me." It shocks her more than the heat. Why trust a man who rode in with the outlaws who tied her up? Why trust someone who watched her beg for water? But his voice is honest. Not sweet, not gentle, just honest. Mac is distracted. Jack works the knot loose with a quick twist of his knife. The rope around her wrists loosens slightly. It's not enough to free her, but it's enough to tell her he is not the monster she thought. Her mind flashes back to how she ended up here, riding alone toward Dodge City, Mac and his brother Eli appearing from behind a fallen tree. A revolver pressed to her chest, her reins yanked. Her money stolen, her body tied and thrown into the dust. They said they needed a hostage. And that's when Jack appeared, quiet, tired, carrying his guilt like a shadow. Mac had bragged that Jack owed him, that he would prove his worth. Lily remembers Jack's first look, not cruel, not hungry, just tired of something deeper than the dust on his boots. Back in the present, Lily feels the rope shift again. Jack whispers, "When I cut the last rope, you fall. Don't make a sound?" But Mac begins walking back. His footsteps crunch in the dry grass. He's getting close enough to see everything. Jack's moment is slipping away. Just then, Eli arrives, jumpier, younger, holding a gun like he's praying for a reason to fire. He laughs at Lily. "Still alive, good. Might get a reward for her." Jack's hand tightens around his revolver. He fires, not into Eli's chest, but his shoulder. Eli drops, screaming. Dust explodes, horses panic. Jack fires at Mac, but misses by inches. Mac dives for cover. Jack steps between Lily and the danger, firing as he advances. Eli writhes on the ground, Mac yells. Shots tear through the air as Jack pushes forward, daring Mac to hit him, dragging his aim away from Lily. Finally, Mac runs for his horse. Jack fires one last shot, but the bullet only kicks dust under the hooves as Mac escapes into the shimmering heat. Silence, heavy, breathless silence. Jack rushes to Lily, cuts the ropes fully, and lifts her to her feet. They have seconds before Mac returns with more men. He helps her onto his horse, climbs up behind her, and they bolt toward the Arkansas River. Only when they reach the shade of the cottonwoods does Lily's breathing finally slow. She sees the cuts on Jack's face, the trembling in his hands. She hands him her canteen. "Drink, you look like you're about to fall over." Jack gives her a tired smile. "We just need a moment." Mac won't stay gone for long. They hide in an old abandoned tack shed near the riverbank. Jack sits, pressing a hand to his ribs where a bullet grazed him. Lily sits beside him, softer now that the immediate terror has passed. "Why did you help me?" "You could have just walked away." Jack stares out at the river. "Because I've seen what men like them do, and I couldn't let it happen again." Not to someone who still has her whole life ahead. For the first time all day, she feels a flicker of safety, then a sound cuts through the quiet hoofbeats. More than one horse. Mac is coming back. Jack stands, checks his revolver, and tells her, "Stay behind me," but Lily steps forward. "You saved my life. I'm not hiding while you face him alone." Before Jack can argue, Mac bursts through the tree line with two armed riders. Jack shoves Lily behind a fallen log and fires first, knocking one rider from his saddle before he can even aim. The fight explodes, dust, gunfire, and the snarl of panicked horses fill the air. Lily spots a pistol on the ground dropped by the fallen rider. Her hands shaking, she picks it up and fires. The shot misses by a mile, but it freezes the outlaws for just a second. It's all Jack needs. He drops the last rider with a clean shot. In the final moment, Mac charges, unhorsed but furious. The two men crash into the dirt, wrestling for control. Mac draws a knife, the blade glinting as it comes inches from Jack's chest. Jack twists, rolls, and wrenches the knife free, turning Mac's own weapon against him. When it's over, Mac lies still in the dirt. Jack sits, shaking, his breath ragged. Lily rushes to him. Her hands tremble as she checks his wounds. He tries to smile, but it's more of a grimace. She pulls him close, her fear finally giving way to relief. For the first time, she truly feels safe. Weeks pass. Lily still wakes from nightmares some nights, the memory of the ropes and the heat clinging to her. But every night, Jack is there, keeping watch on her porch until she trusts the world again. In Dodge City, he helps her rebuild the wagon she was traveling in. In return, she brings him fresh bread, warm smiles, and small moments of peace he hasn't felt in years. One warm evening, they stand at the fence line, the setting sun painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. Lily looks at him, her eyes soft, and whispers the same words that once came from fear. "If you want to, just do it." Only this time it's not a challenge, it's an invitation. A chance at something new, something good. Something they can build together, out of the dust and the danger. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.